Hello my fellow breathers, it is I once again, Monster Breath, and welcome to 5-Star Review. Today we will be reviewing the PlayStation VR. So just a quick rundown on what a 5-star review is. It's just 5 good things about the product, 5 bad things about the product, and then the rating out of 5. So it's 5, 5, 5, that's why it's called a 5-star review. Let's get on with it. I'm going to start with the good points. PlayStation VR is a high quality yet budget option for VR. I use the word budget relatively loosely because it's still expensive to get into. Here in Australia I think it's $5.49 for the headset alone, plus wherever you can get a PlayStation and for how much, whether it's a Pro or Launch or Slim or otherwise. So you're looking at roughly $700 at least just to get into it. That's without any Move controllers or titles or anything. It does come with VR Playroom. Once the PlayStation recognizes that there is VR plugged in, it will automatically download VR Playroom, much like it did when you plugged in your camera, which you will need as well. So that's an extra cost too. You don't need a PlayStation 4 Pro to play VR. Let's just get that out of the way with straight away. Is it better on Pro? Yeah, it is better on Pro. Textures are better, the games run smoother. I think the frame rate might be a little bit higher, but I've got no evidence to back that up. It's just my feelings on it. But I've definitely noticed a boost in performance when playing PlayStation VR on the PlayStation 4 Pro. That being the case, it is still perfectly playable on the launch PS4, which is what I initially played it on. So, no harm, no foul. Positive point number 2 is that it is comfortable on your head. This is the most comfortable VR headset money can buy. I've had a brief use with the Oculus. This was only a small little demo that I tried, and it was a while ago. This was still a dev kit that I tried. It is definitely more comfortable than that. It is definitely more comfortable than those little plastic VR boxes that you can stick your phone in and look around or go on a roller coaster or anything like that. This is definitely a very comfortable headset, so you won't be disappointed or feel like you're going to get a headache after playing it for a relatively long time. And if you do get a headache, it's not because it's restricting the blood to your head. It's because of maybe some other things. Positive point number 3 is that it has the support of Sony. Now this is, maybe a bit tongue-in-cheek, especially since, the Vita is a thing, yet not a thing at the same time. But there are games there, and there are games to continue to come out. There are roughly 40 games/experiences available at the moment, with another 30 or so coming out this year, so that's fairly good. The most notable, I'd say, would be Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, which is a full game, and I think the first full game you can play on PlayStation VR. I haven't played it myself. Don't think I intend to either. I'm a little bit too chicken for such things, but it is excellent, and from what I've heard, again, seems to be legit and an awesome experience. So if you're keen for that, PSVR is the only way to get it at the moment. Sony's relationship with indie devs, and its strong relationship with indie devs, I should say, is paying off for VR as well. There are constantly new games on the marketplace that are still coming out that are in VR and are great experiences, and Sony, especially with the PS4 era, has had a good, strong history with indie devs, and that's paying off with their VR platform as well. Also with Sony having Sony's backing, is that it's continually being updated with the more recent update, which I think is still yet to release, allowing you to watch 3D movies within the VR headset. So that's an experience that I'm really looking forward to testing out. I'm not sure if you can watch Avatar. Well, you will be able to watch Avatar in 3D in there. Whether or not you want to wear the headset for 2.5 hours and have a screen this close to your face for that long, that's a different question. But keen to see how it goes. Positive point number 4 is the social experience, which might sound a bit strange to you, being considering you probably have headphones on and you can't see anything that's happening in the outside world. But generally when I've had friends around and we've got the PlayStation VR out, it's been really fun. The social screen is obviously a large contributor towards that. So you're able to see what they're seeing, and it's a lot of fun when they're, especially when in this stage of the VR life cycle, it's still fairly fresh and a lot of people haven't tried it yet. So when you're able to give them their first real experience in VR, it's a lot of fun. There are plenty of titles that offer good replay value as well, and those leaderboard chaser type things. So yeah, definitely a decent social experience. Probably the most social experience you can get with a VR. And positive point number 5, and this is, I guess VR in general, not exclusive to PlayStation VR. But this is the first real innovation to gaming since the joystick way back when Nintendo 64 launched. That changed the way people play, and this isn't the same thing. This is more than just, waggling something at the TV. This is a genuinely exciting development, and that one step closer to the holodecks, which is what we all want. So yeah, to be on the forefront of that sort of technology is really, really exciting. Now on to the bad points. Bad point number 1, and again, these are in no particular order. Some of these might annoy you, some of them might not annoy you. But bad point number 1 is the fly screen / security screen effect. Now this is something I noticed a little bit more on the launch PS4 when I was using it on that. You get a slight haze, like a cross section over everything that you see. Not really that much of an issue. It's most notable when you've got a black screen in front of you rather than when you're looking at something. But it's the one thing that kind of stays there no matter where you look. Being this early in VR and being a cheaper headset, it is definitely a negative, but deal breaker? No, not at all. But you have to come up with something. The Move controllers, while completely serviceable and the experience is better for having Move controllers than just your standard controller, it doesn't really hold a candle up to the other VR controllers that are available on the other platforms. And they especially have trouble, keeping tracking right in a well-lit room. So I would suggest darkening the room. I wouldn't say switch the light off at night, but I would say close the curtains during the middle of the day. That would definitely help your experience. Still completely serviceable. And I prefer to have them than to not. But yeah, just something to be wary of. Bad point number 3 is that there's no killer app just yet. There's nothing that's going to help move this off shelves other than the general experience which you can get across most VR titles anyway, and that's being in a virtual reality. Outside of that, there's nothing that will really make you need to get a PlayStation VR. I think, for me, I bought at launch Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, PlayStation VR Worlds, Eve Valkyrie, and Super Stardust VR Ultra VR. So these were good titles to pick up as far as I'm concerned. Super Stardust Ultra VR is quite simply just an extra game mode on top of the normal Super Stardust. And it's fine. It's a leaderboard chaser. It is what it is, and it's worth picking up. Eve Valkyrie is a multiplayer-based VR game, which is very cool. However, never really quite got its hooks into me to keep me coming back, which is what I wanted from it, and I didn't quite get that. But that's okay. PlayStation VR Worlds is a good little smorgasbord of all the different sort of applications VR might have and continue to develop in the future, especially in PlayStation. And my personal favourite of the ones I got at launch, which is Until Dawn Rush of Blood, which is kind of that sort of carnival game experience that you get at carnivals, but in the comfort of your living room. And I say comfort loosely because it's not a comfortable game to play. You know what I mean? If you know anything about Until Dawn, you know what I mean. Until Dawn Rush of Blood is the only one I got at launch that makes proper use of the Move controllers. On top of that, there is the Tomb Raider VR thing, which I have not tried, and also the Star Wars Battlefront VR missions that I have tried. And the VR missions are fine in Star Wars Battlefront. However, once I played them, I never felt like I needed to play them again. It had little to no replay value, but it is a cool experience. And it is free, so can't argue with it. The ones I would suggest that I have not played would be Batman Arkham VR, and also Res HD Infinite VR. I think that's what it's called, but you know what Res is. Heard that's amazing to play in VR, so I'm really keen to give that a go. Available on the PlayStation Store, so yeah. Bad point number 4. It's not exactly plug in and play. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. If you're investing in VR, you're going to invest in having to untangle cables and things like that. And to put away, it takes up a little bit of room, and to then have to drag it out every time can be a barrier of entry to want to keep playing it. I'll admit that's for sure. Even though it is the most user-friendly VR headset on the market, which requires the least amount of setup, it's just the VR headset itself, a few different cables to plug in, and also having the camera set up. It's easy to change from room to room and things like that, if I wanted to play not in my bedroom, for example. However, it's not exactly at that plug-in and play level. Still a bit of fussing around to do, and it's probably something that Mum would have a hard time setting up for little Johnny. Bad point number 5, and that is that it is more of a 180 degree VR experience than it is about a full 360 VR experience. That's not to say that you can't turn around and have a look behind you in PlayStation VR. You definitely can do that. The game tracks these lights, which aren't on, but you can see there and there, that it can track the back of your head, so which is obviously very important. However, especially when you're using Move controllers, once you turn around and you block the lights at the end of the Move controllers from the PlayStation camera, it loses tracking and you won't be able to use them. Therefore, it is a very front-facing VR experience rather than a full 360 VR experience. Not that it's a bad thing. That is something that other VR platforms might have an edge over the PlayStation VR in that respect, such as the HTC Vive. So that's 5 bad points and 5 good points on the PlayStation VR. My overall rating of PlayStation VR is 4 stars. So they're about to come out on shelves again. They're about to restock. I think roughly Valentine's Day is when they're due to restock again. So whether or not you should buy it is obviously completely up to you. Hopefully this has shed maybe a little bit more light on that topic. I myself would suggest that you do, because it's a lot of fun and you won't regret it. We'll just close now with a bit more footage of me playing Until Dawn. Enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Once the breath is out.